Hello and welcome back to another episode of Roblox Stepford County Railway. My name is Wizzy, you can also call me Wizzy, and today we're once again driving some more trains on Roblox. Now I know it's been a few weeks since I've had any videos at all for the Roblox series, and I do apologize for that. I just haven't really been able to get to these, and as of right now, my main priority series is my modded Minecraft, or Minecraft Monday series. So, but we're back with this for now. Well, I shouldn't say for now. We are back with this. Well, yeah, I guess for now, because that may not always be here every week. But, I mean, it's not like I'm discontinuing this series. The series is going to continue. It's just whether or not I'm going to be able to consistently record and put out these videos is more of the question. But anyways, I already have a plan for this episode. As you can see, I've already come in and taken a look at the routes and trains I want to do. And we are indeed going to drive the class 333. And we're going to start with route 004, which is St. Helens Bridge to Edgemead. And we are going to start on the St. Helens Bridge side. Well, go from the Benton depot to St. Helens Bridge, and then reverse, go back to Edgemead, and then once we get to Edgemead, we're going to change routes and go to, holy lag, and then go to, Stepford, Victoria from there. And as you might be able to tell, they did an update where in the chat it shows your route call sign when you chat. If you're on a route or whatever. I say call sign, but yeah. And if dispatcher is on, it will show which station and platforms they are doing. I think this is a 4-car train. It's been a long time since I've last driven this train.
This is Benton.
Let me see, is this a
St. Helens Bridge.
333? Yes, it is a 4-car train.
The 2121 Stepford Connect service to Leighton City.
And now I joined a server that at the time was only 18 people in it. So, move this over the screen. Actually, it was 19 people when I joined. And right now,
We will be calling at Coxley.
looks like it might be less than that now, which is completely fine with me. Yeah, I'm including me. There's 17 people in this server, so but these two routes are routes we haven't done either direction on yet, so that will help. And as long as I remember to actually change the route once we get to Edgemead, then that will be good. Unlike what I did that a couple episodes ago. And speaking of that, I don't know if it's because I'm pretty sure I didn't read that when I was saying that, so that was just kind of a coincidence. And I think we are going to overshoot majorly. In fact, we might not even be stopping at this station. We might be skipping it completely. Wow. Was it like one door? Not even. Yeah, no. We were too far out, so no, that's fine. See, I wish I could do empty services to like straight to from the depot to St. Helens Bridge, like you could in or you can in British Railway. That way I don't have to worry about actually stopping at these stations. But anyways.
We will shortly be arriving at Bowden. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
So yeah, one other change that they just did as well, a couple changes. One, they split the, I think it's the class 180. No, 350 rather. Because it was just the class 350 as it was designated as. And so they basically redesignated that train itself to being 350/2, I think it is. And they also have 350/1 now. But honestly, the only difference from what I could tell were basically the interiors were slightly different. Because they're both 4-car trains. And usually when it's like 350/1 or 350/2, the differences are in car numbers as well. But since they are both 4-car trains, and they obviously look identical. The only thing, like I said, I could tell that was actually different, other than the numbering, is the interior, like the seats and stuff like that. That's because when you do the preview thing, you could tell slight change or see slight changes, but other than that, like I said, they're basically the same train still. And then they're going to like ultra mesh now. That's what I'm gonna call it. I know it's not, but because all the trains are mesh, but they have updated the mesh for the class 185 for Airlink and Connect. Basically all the services that have the class 185. See, that station we did not need to stop at because that was not one of our stations on our route this time. So that I didn't miss intentionally or not, or whatever. So if we look at this, yeah, you can see Bowden, no Angel Pass, which was that station. But we're coming up into St. Helens Bridge.
We'll shortly be arriving at St. Helens Bridge. Change here for services to Barton, Beachley, Beryley, Stepford Central, Stepford...
I was wondering if it was going to route us this way or the other side just to come back over to this platform. Because it's done that for me once before.
And the platform. This train terminates here. All change, please.
Okay. Every time I drive or see this train, I think of like a hot dog.
Stepford Express, service to Stepford Central, is delayed by
I don't know if this is the one that they call the fishbowl or not.
We are sorry that your journey will take longer than planned.
So yeah, we do want to do next leg for this.
The train now standing at platform 4 is the 2128 Stepford Connect, Service to Edgemead. Calling at Bowden, Coxley, Benton, Benton Bridge, Hampton Hargate, Wharton Newton, Leighton Stepford Road, Leighton City, and Edgemead. This train is formed of 4 coaches.
And once again, we do not stop at Angel Pass.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service to Edgemead. We will be calling at Bowden, Coxley, Benton, Benton Bridge, Hampton Hargate, Wharton Newton, Leighton Stepford Road, Leighton City, and Edgemead. The next station is Bowden.
And after this episode, there are going to be only 8 more routes that we have not done either direction on for Connect. And this will bring us up to 22 routes that we've done at least one route on. So we'd still, or basically not at least, but we've only done one direction on. And it would still leave us at 13 where we have done the entirety of the route, which means both directions. So we are definitely getting there. The fact that after this episode there's only going to be 8 more routes we haven't taken a look at all.
Will shortly be arriving at.
And by what I mean by routes that we haven't taken a look at, like I said, doing either direction, and basically it's unique routes. So even though this would share, obviously, lines with other routes, it's just this is a completely different route than, like, obviously, like when we're going to do Edgemead to Stepford, or, yeah, Stepford Victoria, which goes along the same exact line as this one.
Bowden. This train is for Edgemead. The next station is Coxley.
And basically that leaves us with, well, even before this episode, that leaves us with Metro having the most routes we have not seen at all. Because as of right now for Metro, we've completed 2 routes, both directions. We've done 4 routes, one direction, and there's 14 routes we have not looked at.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service to Edgemead.
Express has 14 routes total. We've completed one of them, and the other 13 we've done one direction on. So we've taken a look at every route on Express. Waterline has 11 routes. We've done both directions of every single route there. And Airlink has 10 routes, and we've done every direction, or both directions for every route on that one. So overall,
Will shortly be arriving at Coxley.
out of the total for the entire
And the platform.
network, 43, 63, 77,
Calling at Benton,
88. So out of 98 total routes that there are in this game, actually, was there a 3 marker? Yeah, there was a 4 marker or whatever.
This train is formed
So yeah, out of 98 total routes that there are
for the
in this game,
service to
we have
City. Calling at Benton,
23 routes that we haven't done at all.
Hampton Hargate, Upper Steplow, Walton Newton, Rocket Parade, Leighton Stepford Road, and Leighton City. This train is formed of 4 coaches.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service.
38 routes.
Edgemead
We've done one direction.
is Benton. Shortly be arriving at.
And 37 routes we've done
The services to Connolly,
the entirety of.
Farley, Greensland, Morganstown,
Now, of course, the trains,
Port Benton,
that's
and
another
Airport Terminal
thing.
2. Please mind the
Like,
gap
as of right now,
between
Waterline
the platform.
is the most complete, having all the routes completed and all but 4 trains we have used, which is 13 trains. But like I've mentioned before, it's gonna be quite some time before we get back to doing Waterline or Airlink and getting the rest of those, or doing the rest of those trains, because, well,
This train
I want to complete the routes first. And plus,
is
those trains that we have not done are variants of trains that we have already done. Like, we've done the 143, which is a 2-car train, but we have not done the 143 double, which obviously is the 4-car variant of the 143, just 2 units connected. Like 195/0, which is a 2-car train. 195/1, we have not done
welcome on
the
board
3-car
the
train
Stepford Connect
or
service
variant.
to
So,
Edgemead. We will be calling
Airlink, on the other hand, there are some trains that we have not taken a look at.
Walton Newton, Leighton Stepford Road, Leighton City, and Edgemead.
Whether it be variants or not.
Section is Benton Bridge.
Well, obviously, I should probably say that. Now, the only service where we will more than likely have used all of the trains before doing all the routes, which kind of makes sense in a way because it has much fewer trains than routes, and that is Metro. Metro has 20 routes, but it only has 7 trains.
Will shortly be arriving at Benton.
And we've only used 2 of them, which means there's only 3 trains left.
Stepford
And basically there's only 4 unique trains, basically. 3 of them are variants of other trains.
Calling at Hampton
Connect,
Walton Newton,
well actually Connect does have more routes than it does trains as well.
and
So we might end up having that same situation with Connect, where we'll use all the trains before doing all the routes. Which, I mean, makes sense. Especially when there's more routes than there are trains.
Benton Bridge
And with how long some of these routes are,
for Edgemead.
and that's another thing too, some of these routes are so long,
Hampton
they're
Hargate.
pretty much gonna be basically their own video. Unless I pair them up with shorter routes, which I can, and probably will end up doing. Like, for example, route R026, which is Stepford Victoria to Lynn by the Sea, is a 44-minute route.
Come on board this
We haven't done that route at all, either direction.
The next station is
Route RO29 is Stepford Victoria to Beachley. We've done one direction on, but it is Beachley to Stepford Victoria, so we'd want to do the other direction then. I'm going too fast. So what I would probably end up doing is I'd go start at the Lynn by the Sea end, and that's only a 4-minute route as well, by the way. So, and probably, I mean, that's would still be a shorter, well, that's 48 minutes combined, and I would still need to get to Lynn by the Sea to start. So yeah, that's probably what I would end up doing for that one, and maybe we'll even do that next episode. Because, like I said, we'd start at Lynn by the Sea, go to Stepford Victoria. We would then, once we get to Stepford Victoria, switch to route RO29 to finish that route from going to Stepford Victoria to Beachley. Because like I just said, we did the other direction on that route. In fact, looking at my list here, the longest routes are RO26, RO24, which is RO26, like I just said, is Stepford Victoria to Lynn by the Sea. Or vice versa. And RO24 is Stepford Central to Lynn by the Sea, or vice versa. And both of those are 44-minute routes. Those are the longest routes. Actually, no, I take that back. The longest route is Willowfield to Lynn by the Sea, which is a 45-minute route. And that one we've done Willowfield to Lynn by the Sea. Hopefully this all makes sense. Longest routes for Metro. We don't stop at this station up here. Longest routes for Metro, or route rather, is a 25-minute route in which we've done one direction on. Express, the longest route is a route, because there's actually, no, there is only one that's that length, and that's a 27-minute route. And once again, Waterline we've done completely. Longest is 16 minutes. And Airlink, which we've once again done completely, is also 16 minutes. So yeah, no, we would pair basically those longest routes up with other routes. At least that's what I try to do. I try to pair them up with routes to kind of make it so I've done at least, like if it's a route that I at least done one direction on, I end up doing the other direction on so I can complete that route. Once again, hopefully this all makes sense. And hopefully I didn't make like 20 of you click off this video. Although more than likely there's probably not going to be 20 people watching this video, so... And if I do get 20 people or viewers on this video, more than likely they are going to be like a few second views each. So, more than likely, I'm just rambling to nobody right now. Which is usually how these videos go anyways, so, unfortunately. And I know I've mentioned that before, too. That the view times are not great, to say the least.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service to Edgemead. The next station is Leighton Stepford Road.
Okay, so that is one issue that I would have. With the RO26 is that it is only available for 2 trains. The Class 444 and the Class 68. And both of those trains we've done.
Stand back from the platform edge.
So that kind of throws a wrench into that.
B21.
Because I do want to do... I don't really want to repeat trains if I don't have to. Right now anyways.
Arriving at Leighton Stepford Road. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
See, what I could do... Although, what's that symbol mean? Not available for Class 444 or 68. Well, that's fine.
This train is formed of 4
And that is for route RO27. Which is Stepford Central to Barely. And that one we haven't done either direction on. So
Edgemead. The next station is Leighton City.
what I could do is I could do Lynn by the Sea to Stepford Central, and then Stepford Central to Barely. So I'm almost wondering if when he does start guarding, if it'll show,
On board this Stepford
it might show that
Edgemead.
when he's guarding a train.
We will shortly be arriving at Leighton City. Change here for services to
Well, we will
Leighton
find
West
out.
and Lynn by the Sea. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
See, I could pair... Well... Actually, that's one thing I can pair two, are those routes up together, is, actually, that route I'm doing next. Never mind. But I could always pair it up with the other one, too, that route too, for the other direction.
This is Leighton City. This train is for Edgemead. The next station is Edgemead.
That would make that video a bit over an hour, or definitely over an hour if I did it that way. So what I'm looking at is route RO06, which is Stepford Victoria to Port Benton.
This step
That route we haven't taken a look at all.
Edgemead. The next station is
That's a 15-minute route, so if I do both directions, that's 30 minutes. The route I'm thinking of pairing up is the route we're going to be doing next when we get up to Edgemead here, and that is route RO09, which is Stepford Victoria to Edgemead. Of course, we're doing Edgemead to Stepford Victoria. So and that's a 28-minute route. So what I'm thinking I could do is I can do route RO06 both ways, starting at Stepford Victoria, go to Port Benton, back to Stepford Victoria, and then from Stepford Victoria, go out here to Edgemead. But since doing Stepford Victoria to Port Benton and back would be a 30 minutes round trip. And with Stepford Victoria to Edgemead being 28 minutes, that's 58 minutes
We will shortly
just for
arrive
doing those
at
routes,
Edgemead.
not even connecting to
Change
them
here for services
or
to
doing the intro
Rainy
outro.
Bay and West Wyvern.
And in order to get to Stepford Victoria, to have to start at the Beachley Depot, or sidings rather.
Change, please.
And so that would be probably about 4 minutes to drive to Stepford Victoria from there. So that's an hour, 2 minutes. And then that's once again not even including the intro and outro. So that would be probably more like an hour, 5 hour, 10-minute video, which I mean is no issues. We've done that before. So I want to do change route and R009 to Stepford Victoria.
The train now standing at platform 1 is the 2148 Stepford Connect service to Stepford Victoria. Calling at Leighton City, Leighton Stepford Road, Rocket Parade, Wharton Newton, Hampton Hargate, Benton Bridge, Benton, Coxley, Bowden, St Helens Bridge, Stepford East, Stepford Central, and Stepford Victoria. This train is formed of 4 coaches.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service to Stepford Victoria. We will be calling at Leighton City, Leighton Stepford Road, Rocket Parade, Wharton Newton, Hampton Hargate, Benton Bridge, Benton.
But yeah, no, I'd have to look around
Benton, St.
for
Helens
other
Bridge,
routes I'd be able to pair and how I'd want to pair them.
Stepford Central and Stepford Victoria. The next station is Leighton City.
So there are a few stations we do skip. We do stop at Rocket Parade this time though. So I'm thinking what I will probably do next video is pair R024 and R027 together. And we could do either direction with that. And basically I can pair that up again with the other direction later on down the road.
We will shortly be arriving at Leighton City. Change here for services to Leighton West. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And I think what I might do, and I don't typically like doing it, but I mean it doesn't really matter either way, is I might just do that in my own private server.
This train is for Stepford Victoria. The next station is Leighton Stepford.
That way I can drive the class 357. It's not like it really matters either way, but the thing with the 357 is it is the free train. So, and usually the free trains get bad reps because they are free trains. And I know I've mentioned this before, I think.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service.
But because they are the free trains, that means that new players,
Calling at Leighton
that's really the
Stepford
only, if they want to do
Rocket
connects,
Parade,
I mean, they have an option now.
Wharton Newton,
They do have a free train for Metro now, too.
Benton Bridge,
That's the 717.
Benton, Coxley.
So basically,
St. Helens Bridge.
with those being new trains, new players are going to have to drive those
And
trains.
Stepford Victoria.
Unless they buy coins to get
Shortly be arriving
whatever
at
points to
Stepford
get
Road.
Calling at
Please
other
mind the
trains.
gap
But
between the trains
usually,
and the platform.
new players will just go right to the free trains first and drive with that.
Bowden,
And of course,
Helens Bridge,
not every new player is this way, but I know
Central, and Stepford
this is the reason why they do get bad reps, is because new players generally
This train
don't know how to play or control the trains that well.
Rocket Parade.
So they are either going really slow or they are constantly basically coming to a stop because their AWS is going off and they don't know how to disable that.
Welcome on board this Stepford Connect service to Stepford Victoria. The next station is Rocket Parade.
And so that's why a lot of people don't like the free trains, because usually that means it's a new player
Please mind the
generally.
gap between the train.
Not always, but generally. And so they always associate those trains with the new players,
Hampton Hargate,
even if it necessarily isn't a new player.
Coxley, Bowden, St. Helens Bridge, Stepford East, Stepford Central.
And that's why I generally avoid those trains,
This train
or
is
driving those sorts of trains.
This is Rocket Parade.
It's like on British Railway, the free train is the Class 142, which is a bummer because I really like that train,
Water Newton.
but so I don't really drive that train much at all on British Railway because of that. But I think what I might do is next episode we'll drive the 357, which, like I said, is the free train for
Welcome on
Connect.
board this Stepford Connect service to
And
Stepford
we will
Victoria.
do
The next
routes
station
RO24, Stepford Central, Lynn by the Sea, and RO27, which is Stepford Central to Barely. Now, once again, I can start either end. I could start at the Barely end, go to Stepford Central, and then switch and go to Lynn by the Sea. Or, like I keep mentioning, I can start at Lynn by the Sea, go to Stepford Central, and then go to Barely from there. I might do that. And then we can do the other, like I said, way with that pairing
between the trains
later
and
on
the
down the road. But that will give complete, at least, or it will complete one direction for 2 more routes for Connect, which will bring
Hampton Hargate,
the non-completed routes down to 6 for Connect.
Bowden, St. Helens Bridge, Stepford East.
And then probably what I would end up doing
Stepford Victoria.
is the video after that, I will then go to Metro
Water Newton.
and do a couple routes on there.
Stepford Victoria. The next station is Hampton Hargate.
So yeah, I think that's the plan. In fact, I might even put it on my episode list. That way, I know that I already have it planned out
Welcome on
for
board
that.
this Stepford Connect
So
service
class
to
357,
Stepford
routes
Victoria.
RO24
The next station
first,
Hampton Hargate.
and then RO27. I swore it used to be 60, not 65. But maybe it was 65 before. Yeah, the server is dying out quite a bit now. I'm actually the only guest in this server though too, which is actually kind of interesting. And of course, like I mentioned, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, if we look up there, we can obviously tell, and you guys obviously know. I mean, this is episode 36 of this series, so even just this series alone, I've got enough experience on this game.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Like, I feel like they could almost make a separate guest rank.
And Stepford, Victoria. This train is formed of 4
Basically,
coaches.
like once you get to enough experience or whatever, it ranks you up automatically. So it signifies that you're not like a random new guest.
Hampton Hargate. This train
Because right now, these guys, all they know
station.
is, I mean, this could be one of my first times, or, well, you only have one first time, but I could be a fairly new player. Like, they might not know that I could possibly even have been playing possibly longer than they have, so. I mean, they could almost have, like, several ranks, guest ranks, but I know obviously they wouldn't do that.
Stepford, Victoria
Because all the ranks that they do have,
is
basically guest means that you are not part of the group for the game. And when you join the group for the game, your new rank becomes TD. Like these guys. Or those two. Then you have to do training sessions
be arriving at
to rank up.
Benton Bridge.
So the first rank up would be from TD to QD. From trainee driver to qualified driver.
Please mind the gap
And then
and the platform.
the next rank up from there is dispatcher.
2200 Stepford Connect.
And then from there to guard, guard to signaler, signaler to supervisor,
Benton,
so on and so forth.
Coxley, Bowden, St Helens Bridge. Stepford
Now there is a reason why I am not
Victoria.
part of the group,
This train is formed of
and it kind of makes sense in a way. At least for me, it makes sense.
your attention.
And that is because I've been playing this for so long without being part of the group.
Stepford Connect. Service
I almost feel like it's
Victoria has
kind
been
of a
cancelled.
waste to join the group, at least at this point.
The train crew
At least with this account. Like, I could join the group with a different account, and that'd be fine. But at least with this account, I've grinded so much, unlocked everything with as a guest, and so I kind of want to just keep it that way.
Come on board with Stepford.
Like I said, hopefully that makes sense.
Stepford, Victoria.
But like I said, I could come in with an alternate account and join the group. And that way at least I'm in a group, or in the group, whatever, and I'm not a guest rank in that account. Because there is one account that I do have, that I will play this every once in a while. I did because that way I could start grinding for everything again instead of just playing with what I have. Because of course that gets boring after a while because there's really nothing new to unlock or enjoy. Because I have it
Be
all.
arriving at
And even when
change
new
here
stuff
for
comes out at this
services to
point,
Connolly,
I will still have everything.
Greenslade, Morganstown, New
And so I'm not really grinding for that new stuff anymore because, like I said, I have enough points
mind the gap between the
where no matter what, I'm able to buy everything on those updates. But anyways,
This is Benton. This train is called Stepford Victoria. The next station is Coxley.
and now on my spreadsheet I will know that I haven't done that route yet because the way I have it set up is I have
Welcome on board.
several columns.
Connect service.
So these are the columns I have from left to right. So first column is episode number,
Coxley.
or it just says episode,
St. Helens
and
Bridge.
so obviously it increases for each section. So like right now we're on episode 36.
Stepford Victoria.
For that information, next time it's obviously going to be under episode 37. The second column is service, or operator, as they call it in the game. So it's either Connect, Metro, Waterline, Airlink, or Express. Then the column after that is train class. So in this case, it's the class 333. But I don't say class 333, I just put 333 because of obviously I have it as train class, so you already know that it's class 333. Or like episode 34, it was the 180, class 180 10-car hybrid livery.
Mind the gap.
And so I actually have that labeled out because that's what it shows when you select the train.
Calling at Bowden.
And then,
Bridge.
and basically, so what I do is I also format the,
Stepford
or
Victoria.
put borders in
This train is
to kind of help split each section up. So basically I have a thick border to the left before episode, which makes sense because that's the edge of the
Coxley.
table spreadsheet.
Stepford Victoria.
To the right of that I have the thin line,
Bowden.
and then I have service train class together with no line in between. And then I will do a thin border to the right of train class, which will then bring us to the next section, which is comprised of two components, which is route number, obviously in this case R009, R024, so on and so forth.
The next station.
Then the route name, and basically what I mean by route name is what I end up doing for that route in that episode. So in this case, I have St. Helens Bridge, then a right arrow, and then Edgemead. Now if I do that route both directions, like last episode where I did Willowfield to Stepford Victoria, instead of just a right arrow, it will be a dual arrow.
Bowden.
So an arrow
Please mind the
that
gap.
goes both left and right. So that basically signifies that I started at Willowfield, went to Stepford Victoria, and then back to Willowfield.
St. Helens Bridge. Stepford East. Stepford Central.
And then, so that's,
Stepford
then after that column, I have
This
another
train is formed of 4 coaches.
thin line for the right border, which obviously mentions or signifies the next segment, which is also comprised of two components. Date recorded,
This train is
self-explanatory there, and then date released. So that's obviously the date that I released the video. So as of right now, I'm recording this on Monday, the 18th, and I already have the release date because obviously this is going to be coming out or being released on Thursday, the 21st. So that's the date I have for the release date, which once again, self-explanatory. Then I have a thin line for the right border on that
Stepford Victoria.
after release
The
date.
next station is
And I have one more column, which is game version. And of course, the game version you can see down here in the right corner. So for this episode, it is 2.2.4. The previous few episodes were version 2.2.0, and before that it was version 2.1.2, which was before Metro came out. And so that just knows or signifies when, obviously, what version we were playing when I did that episode. So the very first episode, and for quite a while actually, from first episode all the way to through to episode 15, we were on version 1.10.13. Then episode 16 through 19 were version 2.0.0. Episodes 20 to 23 was 2.0.1.
be arriving at St. Helens Bridge
Versions 24 to 30 were 2.1.2.
and Berry. Please mind the gap.
And then once again, versions 31 through 35 were version 2.2.0. And so far, right now, 36, which is this episode, is version 2.2.4. How many episodes will be this version? I have no idea. The way they've actually, the way they've been doing updates lately, it could be only this episode. But then again, it could be 10 episodes where it's version 2.2.4. We don't know. But anyways,
Helens Bridge.
in fact, the other day it was version 2.2.2, and then they released another version,
Stepford East.
and now it's 2.2.4 currently. So, and that's what I have under my episodes list tab on my spreadsheet. And of course, after game version, I have the thick border to the right of that. And then I have a thin border in between each episode, so that cordons off each episode so you can easily tell. And of course, a lot of this information,
Stepford
or
Victoria.
basically all of this information except for, well,
Stepford East.
yeah, all of this information is inputted when I upload the video. So in the description, of course, I have the service, train number, the routes that I've completed, or I do, with the route number, route name, and I include the game version. So all of that is in the description. Of course, release date, I mean, that's the date the video goes public. So, I mean, that makes sense. And when I do upload, there is a thing to put for date recorded, and I actually do that as well. So, like when I upload this video later, I will select today's date for that,
And Whitefield.
which is the 18th.
Between the train and the platform.
But I will schedule it for the 21st.
Stepford Victoria. Calling at Stepford
And then,
and Stepford Victoria.
I know I've shown this spreadsheet once before in a previous video, but once I do or then I have a separate tab for the route list, which is comprised of 5 sections, each section being the service/operator. And each of those sections is comprised of 2 sections, or segments. The first segment being the trains, and the second segment being the routes. And so under the trains, there's 3 sub-segments of that, which are class, cars, and episodes. So obviously class, self-explanatory once again. But I do have identifiers to the right of them to make notes if I need to. So, for example, the class 350, which I mentioned earlier in this video, is no longer available as just the 350. It's now as the 350/1, 350/2. So 350 itself I still have, but it has a notation sort of thing next to it. And then I have a subnote or down below saying what that basically means. And in this case, it means basically that train is no longer available. And of course, I color those rows for each segment or each train or whatever, or route, to show that I've completed that route. So with the trains, they're either going to be green or white. White being not filled, obviously. Green means I've done them. White obviously means I haven't. And I will color some other trains in if they are new. Like right now, the 350s are pink, except for the former 350. And that just means that they were released in a more recent update. And so the cars and episodes, actually I do have a thin border in between everything, the class, cars, and episodes, and then between every train. Then I have a medium border between the trains and routes to, once again, subdivide those into 2 segments. So these routes, or these stations coming up anyways, we do not stop at. But anyways, for the routes, I have basically 5 groups of segments. The first group is the route name, route number. Well, route number first, then route name, which is basically like what I do for the episodes. Except for every name, it has the double arrow, showing you could go either direction, obviously, with that route. And then some route numbers, I have a little designation thing next to it. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, like one route was only available for the class 444 and the 68. And that's, the signifier tells me that. And that I put next to the route numbers. So then on the right of that, I do have another border with the station A and station B, which is basically just the starting station or terminating station, or vice versa. So like routes R009 is for station A, would be Stepford Victoria, station B, Edgemead. And that is more so for me, so I can like filter the routes for the stations. Like if I want to look for a more specific station, I can filter out all the other stations. Whereas if I do that with the name, because I have the double arrow thing, it won't sort those out. Then I do direction completed, which is the next segment, which obviously is what it sounds like. Either it will be blank, which means I haven't done anything for that route, I will either put, like for this one, it will be Edgemead to Stepford Victoria, so Edgemead, right arrow, Stepford Victoria.
Please mind the gap between the
Or
train
if I've done the
and
entirety of that route, it will
this
say
train
both.
terminates here. All changes
Now, of course, I color code these rows as well. So white means I haven't done the route, yellow means I've done one direction, green means I've done both. And then to the right of that I have episodes and then time. And time obviously being the length of time for that route. And that's basically it. It's those same things for every operator. And then down below each of that I have all the subnotes or whatever for the trains and routes. And then I have the designation color thing for like whether the train is updated or from a more recent update. And then below that I have the counter, which shows which routes I've not done, which routes I've done with one direction, which routes I've done both directions, and then below that the total number of routes for that operator. That's how I got those numbers so quickly earlier. But anyways, I think this is really the first time I've actually talked non-stop in this episode, or video. I mean, it's been mostly about my spreadsheet and everything like that, what I do for these videos, which is fine. But, yeah, anyways. So we are obviously now going to go passenger. We're going to go to Stepford, Victoria, and do our outro there. Okay, so is that Stepford station? Is that a station? Must be. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So once again, it's been a few weeks since we've last had a Roblox video, and I apologize for that. I'm hoping to do next week's Roblox video, which will once again be British Railways. Then the following Roblox video after that is back to Stepford Victoria here, or not Stepford Victoria, Stepford Connect, or whatever, yeah. And next video is going to be another Minecraft Monday with Stone Block, or Ocean Block 2. But anyways, that is just about going to do it for this video though, so hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a thumbs up. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!